I respond to it like I would any other word. It's just a word, like zillions of words. There are zillions of words on the planet in all kind of tribal languages. That's just one of them. See, we got to stop being fascinated by words and become masters of words, even making up words of our own. I mean, that's what the white supremacists do. That's what all people do. That's what tribes do. You just make up words, because all words is nothing but language, a way of communicating. So what are you communicating when you say Nigga? So it comes down to a definition. Give it a definition. And then we go from there. What does it mean when you use it? Does it mean somebody's going to pay you? When you say Nigga, do you get paid every time you say that? Well, then maybe everybody who wants to get paid on the planet should walk around saying Nigga. All right, pay me. And you get paid. And see, things are supposed to work for you. So if some black people somewhere, like you are saying, is saying, hey, don't put that aura on the end of it, just shorten the word and make it Nigga, all right, as a term of endearment, now we come down to what? That's that real word, D-O. You're talking about a magic word. That's the magic word that everybody understands all over the world. I mean, cats and dogs understand that when it comes down to the doing part, all right? So now that we have this new word on the table or an old word put in a different context, Nigga, and you say it's going to have a definition, and the definition is going to be, folks, it's not going to be like the old definition where you put the aura there. That this new definition is going to be sweet. It's going to be Nigga, and it's going to be a term of endearment. Okay, so I got my endearment now. That's on the burner. My new term with my new endearment. Now, what does that mean now that I'm being endeared? Because that's another word, all right? Because you use words to explain another word. So it comes down to one thing. What are you going to do with the new magic word that has been given a different definition and a different perspective that is supposed to be, presumably, something that's going to be more constructive than the old word, which was causing people, driving them crazy for no reason at all, except it's a word that's derogatory. And so now you modify the word, you tinker with it, and make it into something else. And then this is supposed to mean what? See, it always comes down to meaning what? Just like I said with the old word. It means what? Now that you have called me that, now what do we do now? Dance? I mean, I've been called a name. Okay, so you called me a name. You called me whatever. Like I said, no word means anything until you do something. No word means anything. Just a form of communication. You have communicated something to me when you say that I am a N-word. That's communication. You're telling me something. So you made an announcement of that's what I am. That's how you see me. Now, it just comes down to one other question. Now that you know that, what do you do? What do I do? I mean, we got to do something, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be calling that to my attention unless we're going to do something. So what are we going to do? We got this word now. So that's out of the way. Now we got to get to the doing part. Now, the new proposition is the new part with the Nigga, the modified word of Nigger. So you got this Nigga, all right. This is brand new. I mean, this is all sparkling and looking nice and enticing. And it's a term of endearment. All right, now we're getting somewhere because it does have a definition. The other word doesn't have one, okay? But now we got one with the new word. Now that we got this new word, endearment, what do we do with it? That's the only question. What do we do? It always comes down to what, regardless of what word. If you go back to the old word, it comes down to the doing part. And if you look in the code book that I have written, because I have a definition for the old word, a definition, because I said that's the accurate definition for what they're really talking about from my perspective. And looking at it like that, it actually works for me. It works for me. The old word works for me. Looking at it the way that I choose to look at it, since it doesn't have a definition anyway. See, we got to really think. I mean, some college professors should spend maybe 2 or 3 days just taking that word and see, why is that word powerful? Just ask that, rather than look at the origin of it. That doesn't mean anything. Saying it came from it's a corrupted word from the word Negro, which is a Portuguese origin and all like that. That doesn't tell you anything. What tells you something is what the word really means. And that is the magic of that magic word. So when you give it a definition, it immediately loses its power. And I gave it a definition. And how could I do that? Simply by doing it. That's all you had to do. That's all any of us had to do. Just give it a definition. Give it a definition. Give any word a definition. And that word will become powerful or will lose its power, depending on what you want to do with the word. But you got to have the doing part to make it powerful. That's what makes the word powerful, the doing part. Otherwise, the word means nothing at all. Any word. Not just Nigga, Nigger, or gingerbread, or adhesive tape, or book, or lamp. These words don't mean anything until you make them mean something.